Hi, this is Danny Doyle. Welcome back to Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance 0% growths. I'm joined once again by Jacob. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I like this chapter. I think this is a pretty cool chapter.
Yeah, it's a very long chapter, and the last time I played it was in Maniac mode, where, in addition
Every
to the introduction of sleep staves, which there's 3 of on this map, there's a ton of fucking siege tomes, and it's just obnoxious. So I might not have as much affection for it as you do.
I think my favorite parts about this chapter is not as much the actual combat in playing the chapter, but moving your thief between all of the chests in an efficient manner. Because
That can be
otherwise you're
fun,
gonna be in this
yes.
otherwise you're gonna be in this chapter forever. Especially with even with two thieves, it can still take you a long time to get your two thieves between all the treasure chests. And I have so many units that I want to deploy that I don't deploy Soth and I just bring Volk.
And this is actually one of the maps where most of the chests contain things that I want.
Oh yeah, I know there's a lot of really good stuff in these chests.
For example, this is where the second energy drop is. So, like, that's a mandatory for this playthrough.
Or else we're not beating the final boss.
I am calling reinforcements. At some point, I'm going to ask them to halt, because I want to steal all of the sleep staves that I can. The first bishop only has a range of 7, I believe, and the later ones both have 10. It's magic divided by 2 with a minimum of 5. And so he's got 13
Yeah.
magic, I believe, or 15 magic, I believe, and then he has 18, so that's 9. It's set up in such a way that none of the bishops move, but both of these squares are the edge of this guy's range. I'm not going to be able to get this one just because his range reaches, like, I could theoretically, but it's obnoxious. But in order to get this one, I have to put Volk in sleep range. So my goal is to lure these guys to move, since the bishops don't, without stepping, I think it's this tile is the edge of his range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so this tile is the edge of his range. Without stepping into his range, I need to lure all these guys down to kill them so that I can steal with Volk and then rescue him out of this guy's range. I'm not sure how useful the sleep staves will be, but I like having options.
It's always nice to have options. It's always good to have something like that. I never find myself using status staves that much.
I
I'm sure
mean,
you can find some good uses here, considering it's 0% growth and you need every little bit of edge you can get.
I was gonna say, how often do you find yourself deploying base level units in the final map?
Yeah, I can definitely imagine. But I'm curious what your hit chances would be with those staves. Oh, nice crit. I'm sure
Nice.
Alencia will have some decent hit chances, but
And it's also, like, I'm deploying a thief anyway. Deploying Volk over Soth costs me gold, but it doesn't cost me a deployment slot. I wouldn't have deployed both of them. I probably wouldn't have deployed Soth at this point in the game, simply because he is a liability.
yeah, it's really difficult to keep him
It
alive.
really is, it really is. Speaking of
I'd rather
difficult to keep
trade.
alive, holy fuck.
Oh, wow. Hey, Stefan.
Is everyone difficult to keep alive? Stefan Dodge? Hell yeah!
Okay.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
There's no way he would have survived that.
Well, we can't check the stats now, so we'll never know.
Well, this is a great way to start off.
Yeah, with a Stefan dodge. I've been recording Fire Emblem 4 0% growths, sort of in my free time. Initially on my own, and I have someone recording with me now. But sketchy dodge stuff like that is kind of just that entire game, so I wasn't as stressed out as I had previously been, because now I'm used to it. I'm used to just being like, well, maybe a Swordmaster will dodge 15 people.
That's how it works, right? There's supposed to be the high avoid dodge instead of high defense kind of units, right? Right?
Do you know what the weapon triangle in Path of Radiance is? Because I'm
I
curious,
think it's
like, how bad it was that he was facing all those soldiers.
I think it's the same as Binding Blade, where it's +1 -1 damage and plus minus and +10 hit and avoid. Because I know in Binding Blade that's what it is. It's do 1 extra damage, take 1 less damage. You get 10 extra hit and avoid for weapon triangle advantage.
Interesting. So I can't... Oh,
So
I can
it's
reach his Tormod, can't I? Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
so it's not as strong as the FE7 and 8. That one is 1 damage dealt, -1 damage taken, plus 15 hit and avoid.
I
Which
always
is
get it confused. Is it Thracia or Genealogy that has the, like, super busted one?
Genealogy has the 20 hit and avoid. Thracia has the weakest weapon triangle. It only gives you 5 hit and avoid.
1, 2, 3, 4,
So it
5,
almost
6,
doesn't even
7.
exist in that game. Which to people who don't like the weapon triangle, that's a good thing.
I'm kind of neutral about the weapon triangle. I understand that people like it, and I think it does make things interesting, but I'm not bothered by its exclusion in, like, Three Houses or Radiant Dawn hard mode. I think it can be interesting to have a game without weapon triangle, or as Three Houses does, where the weapon triangle is a skill. So if you want to have the weapon triangle, you have to include those, like, breaker skills.
Yeah, I think I enjoy the weapon triangle so much because it's been embedded in my head because I played GBA first, where the weapon triangle is how you beat the game in a lot of instances, especially against bosses on thrones and stuff. You need that extra 15 hit and avoid to
Yeah.
secure accurate shots at enemy. So it doesn't bother me that much that it's there. I know some people kind of think that it's just not really that necessary because you can so easily manipulate it, and I will agree that it's really easy to manipulate the weapon triangle in the player's favor, where you pretty much always get the bonuses from it.
Yeah, I think it was Mecha who described it as you're playing rock, paper, scissors, but you always know what the opponent's going to throw.
I think the weapon triangle would be a lot more interesting if enemies carried multiple weapons. At one point, there are several times in Fire Emblem games where you'll fight Falco Knights that only have lances, you'll fight Great Knights that only have axes, Paladins with only lances, and I wish there were more instances where you fought enemies that had multiple weapon types in their inventory. So if you go to lure an enemy and he has a sword and a lance in his inventory, if you want the triangle advantage or to break neutral, you need a lance. Or you can fight a Great Knight that has all 3 of them. So if you go to enemy phase him, you're always going to be at a disadvantage unless you manage to outmove him and go first.
Interestingly enough, that's one of the things that I really like about Path of Radiance, is when there are enemies who can wield multiple types of weapons, oftentimes they will just have both of them. Granted, there's no enemies that, at least off the top of my head, I can't think of anything other than mages who can wield all 3, and mages, like, the magic triangle feels irrelevant, even in games like, is it FE4? I already forgot. It's FE4 that has the big one, right? Even in that game,
Yes,
the magic triangle feels irrelevant.
Yeah, that's
1,
mostly
2,
because of
3,
weapon
4,
weight.
5,
For
6,
example,
7.
I found out it's fire beats wind, I believe, but the extra weight the extra weight of a thunder tome, you're better off using wind against fire than using thunder against fire because the extra avoid you get from using the lighter tome pretty much offsets the weapon triangle bonuses from it. It's really crazy because of how heavy fire tomes are in that game.
Soth wouldn't have been able to do that. Kill a 1 HP archer. Volk has utility.
Oh, I think we get a stiletto in this chapter, so Volk's gonna have even more utility.
Yeah, he'll have effective damage.
Is it only effective against armors, or is it effective against cabs too?
I'm pretty sure it's just against armors, but I might be wrong.
Which is hilarious, because that's the one person you don't want to fight with thieves, because they do no damage to them.
You say that like you actually want to fight anyone else with thieves, but I am pretty sure you don't. Let's see, he reaches here, so he can't shoot Jill if I just leave her there.
These ledges with this water throws me off every time I play this game on who can rescue who can use staff from down a ledge, who can race and dance for down a ledge.
It's not consistent either, because there's, like, or it feels inconsistent. It probably is, and I just don't understand it. They could fly into... Okay, we're gonna just direct you to halt for this turn so that you don't fly into sleep staff range.
Also, something I found out, the walls in between the rooms or whatever, they count as, correct me if I'm wrong, because I remember this happening, but they count as extra tiles. So for example, like if you're standing outside of the throne room that Enna's standing in, if you stand exactly 10 tiles away from her, but on the other side of that thick wall, you can't reach her. Like,
With, like,
you
a
have
bolting?
to be... Yeah. If you're exactly... Like, if you go 10 tiles above her, you can't reach her from exactly 10 tiles away. I've also found out the same thing with, like, a physics staff. If you have 5 range of physic, and you try to heal someone 5 spaces away from you, but they're on the other side of a large wall like that, you can't reach them. You have to get 3 or 4 tiles away from.
That's interesting.
It's really strange.
I feel like that might have come up during my Maniac playthrough of this, because at one point I was, like, checking ranges for sleep staffs and stuff, and I was like, okay, because at that point, I was trying to steal some of them, but there were so many that I was like, I need to bait some. So I put one person in what I thought was range of a sleep staff, and they ended up not getting hit, and I was confused as to why. And I thought, okay, well, maybe they just, like, are smart enough to avoid enemies with... Like, they're smart enough in Maniac mode to avoid certain low hit rates or something. Like, they didn't want to waste the sleep staff use. But now I'm thinking that, let's leave him here just in case.
Because
Just in case the archer decides he wants to do an archer duel. Now I'm thinking maybe there was a wall that interfered with it. Because you can't check staff range in this. You have to count tiles.
Yeah, you have to count it. I remember it happened in Oliver's Mansion for me once. I had someone on low HP, but I was like, oh, I can move them forward this many tiles because I can reach them with physic from this many tiles away. And I counted the tiles, and I couldn't reach them with physic, and they were on the other side of a large wall like that. And I counted the tiles several times, and it wouldn't let me physic them unless I was a space or two closer. Then it would work.
Are you sure you're not thinking of our playthrough? Because that happened with Riss and Physic. In terms of having to heal up, I think, Titania or Jill. Someone who was at 1 HP.
That might have happened to us too, because I remember it. Well, I remember it happening to me too personally on a playthrough, because I had to reset over it.
Okay,
but
okay.
It might have happened to us earlier. I don't remember enough, but it really confused me. So
we did that
I guess
so long ago.
Oh yeah. Nice sleep staff.
Yes, and so then this tile and this tile are in that guy's range, so we're gonna do the old Rescue Reno. Oh, I can shoot those guys across the river. Okay, good to know.
Oh, that's cool.
I might end up doing that. He has a weapon, right? Yeah, he has shine. Okay.
He has a shine film. I've never found these sleep staffs to be very much of a problem during a normal playthrough, mostly because, like I've stated before, you have so many paladins at this point that you can just outrange them and hit them with bows or hand axes or something like that.
Oh, they're not...
I've never found...
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all I was basically saying, but I know in 0% gross, your units don't have any res, so they're gonna have pretty high... Oh, he gets doubled. Tanith is so good.
So I was actually just thinking about how good Marum is. How he's just like, I can reliably throw him at things. But yeah, Tanith is also so good. I kind of actually want these guys to halt for another turn because they're choking the point. So I think
I could
I'll do that.
Deserve to Roy status of walking in the map, hoping nobody sees him.
Well, there's reinforcements going to come from here. I forget what turn, but I think it's pretty soon. So
I don't
maybe
think those show up very soon.
There's a tiger amongst them. I know that much. But I want to... Okay,
Let me pull
we'll
up.
send Ike here. Yeah, do you mind pulling up WOD for, like, reinforcement data?
Will do, because I really don't remember those reinforcements.
I know they're not just a Maniac mode thing, because it's one of the last things that happened to me on my draft before I stepped on my memory card by accident.
I do remember that there's enemies from that staircase on the left side. I do remember those.
There's a lot of reinforcements in this chapter. Some come from here as well. There's some warriors that come from here. I don't remember if they have killer axes or not.
I think I'm just too busy throwing my thief between treasure room, care about them, or I just send one of my paladins or Jill after them when I completely forget that they exist. What chapter is this again? 21?
Yeah, 21 without a king.
Oh wow, we're getting pretty far into the game.
Yeah, no, the next one's solo, which is a pretty reliable... Ha ha ha, no.
Light damage. Please translate page.
Do that. And let's send Khalil up to help deal with these chumps. I believe there's enemies in most of the... Do you also mind looking up which treasure rooms have enemies in them? Because I know there's some in the topmost ones, because on Maniac mode, you unlock another Siege Tome by opening one of the treasure rooms. And it nearly got me to fucking have to reset this chapter after having killed Enna.
Yeah, I know
which
there's
was
a
such
Siege
bullshit.
Tome in one of these rooms.
Even in hard mode?
I think there's one in hard mode too. I'll have to look at the layout, but my translator won't work on the page right now, so we're gonna do our best. Turn 6.
Okay, turn 6 is the tigers. The red carpet.
It says 2 fighter, 1 warrior from the tiles you highlighted earlier. It says
the top or the bottom.
The bottom right.
Maybe the tiger shows up on the top.
Because Rojo is red, and that's the bottom right ones. It's 2 fighters and a warrior with short axes. Turn 19, there's a thief from... Google Translate, please help. Oh, they might be zone-based. I see a bunch of lines.
Oh, they're probably zone-based. I usually try to rush this map pretty... Oh, I could steal a Vulnerary, too. But I think I'll steal the Mend. And then he's in range of this guy, so I do have to rescue him out. I could rescue with Janaf, as long as I can take care of both of these guys.
If you think about it, stealing the Mend Staff could work as a Vulnerary if you just sell it.
I mean, or it could work as a Vulnerary if I just put it on Mist, who has no fucking magic.
Well, let's go to an English site and look it up, because I'm getting tired of having to translate all this. Because my translator won't work. Reinforcements, please. Oh, and there's that random mini-boss guy on this stage that, like, doesn't do very much. Except he has Wrath and a Brave weapon, I
yeah,
think.
he has a Brave Lance. What do you mean doesn't do very much? He has a Brave weapon, he has Wrath, like, he has fucking boss quotes as well. He's in the conversation with Enna. He's the one who he's like, Enna is guarding the throne because Ashnard abandoned them, which is why it's called Without a King. And he's the guy who he's like,
step out for lunch.
Well, Ashnard doesn't care about Dane anymore. And that guy sort of calls him out. He's like, what? Does Ashnard not care about Dane? He only cares about Crimea? And when he finds out that Enna is the boss, he's like, because she's like a little girl. And he's like, oh no, we're fucked. And she's like, actually, I have a secret weapon. I'm a dragon. And then he's like, oh, hell yeah. Yeah, we'll trade you. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. I put him in sleep staff range.
Uh-oh.
I was working so hard on Well, we'll do this then. We'll drop Volk as potentially bait. And you're fine, you're fine. Who has the restore staff? Riss does, okay. There we go. Promoted Riss contributing.
Look at that.
I love
Glad
this
we have
guy.
him.
I meant to ask, what was that taken with you, you'll be glad you did joke that you told so long ago?
What was my...
You made a joke
me with
in,
you?
like, chapter 2 about Riss, where you were like, oh, take him with you, you'll be glad you did, and I have no idea what that meant.
Oh, in Shadow Dragon, when you recruit Riss, he says, take me with you, you'll be very glad you did.
Oh, in, like, FE1 or in the DS remake?
I know in the DS remake he does. I think he does in the first game too. He says something along the lines of, "Oh, hello, I'm Riss, just a humble curate. I can't fight, but my staff can heal you. Take me with you. You'll be very glad you did."
What a bunch of guys here to try to see which one of them he decides to sleep. Because I'd rather him not sleep Kieran, who's supposed to be countering this guy and gaining bow rank.
I like to think you've been laying in bed at night, every night, wondering why I said that ever since that episode.
I forgot to direct those guys to get moving. Oops.
Oopsie-daisies.
No, I have. It's been keeping me awake, but I've been too socially awkward to ask.
Cross the blue line.
I could break a door with bolting.
I keep seeing the break command come up, but I kept trying to figure out what are you breaking. Then I realized that you have a seed tome. Hey, he has 20 defense. Time to get those transfers.
Javelin, he'll have -4 attack. He'll have 20 attack compared to my effective 30. And then speed of 11. If I get doubled by an armor knight, okay, good.
That would be a...
Wait, does Dude Man reach? Dude Man doesn't reach, right? Yeah, General's only a +1 move. Yeah, they both have siege tomes because this is like a weird... The rivers and everything make it... Okay, good. He took the bulk bait. It, like, kind of sucks getting one less sleep staff use because I'm not going to be able to get that one in the throne room, most likely. That guy in the throne room does have a physic that I want to steal. Ooh,
I think that'll be
not
pretty
doubling.
easy to steal.
But yeah, I figured
Bo's Kieran,
putting...
still coming in clutch.
Bo's Kieran is the best Kieran. But of course, it does not double. Okay, so there's those guys. You were right. I don't know why I thought... Maybe there's a tiger in the upper one, and I was just confusing the two groups.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. For some reason, it won't let me... Maybe I have to pull it up, like, on a computer instead of on my phone, because...
Ike will be fine, right? Ike will be fine.
Yep. Ike will be fine. They're axe users. He has weapon triangle.
We'll have those guys roam.
Just give him the wind sword so he can
that some of them will attack these guys. Why would I put the wind sword on Ike when I could put it on Tanith?
So he can counter the wind sword guys.
Wait, what?
Or so he can counter the short axe guy.
7 move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, Volk doesn't gain any move off of promotion because he already had promoted infantry move, which is pretty obnoxious, but...
Okay, looks like... Oh, here it is. Slate to English.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's not going to be able to reach this time around. You're fine, though.
I don't see anywhere on here where it mentions any, where there's any tiger reinforcements. I just got the page translated on my computer.
Wait, what? I'm dealing more damage with the Marsha than with the Sonic Sword?
Yep.
He has higher resistance than defense. What is this man?
Let's go. Okay, so I'm on WOD and I just turned on the translator and I wonder how much longer we're gonna go before we talk about the recruitable unit in this chapter. But it says new characters and it has translated his name to bullfighting. So that's pretty funny. On turn 6 on turn 6 the red square, 2 fighters, 1 warrior. On turn 19 from turn 19 top orange square is 1 thief, but I think that's in like the bottom left.
Yeah, there's thieves who go for the treasure to sort of incentivize you to rush, but this is a really big map. You want to watch me murder Bald Man?
Oh yeah, let's go.
And
he's gonna be in wrath range now.
We are gonna turn animations on for this part.
Yes. So we can watch you get wrath.
Because Jill, in her utter grief over what transpired last chapter, she forged a weapon out of her father's bones. And she's going to use it to kill Kasatai, whatever the fuck his name is. Because she blames Dane. There's actually a dialogue between her and Ike where Ike is like, it's my fault your father's dead. And she's like, no, it's Dane's fault. I don't blame you. So she's gonna kill a general of Dane. She's not gonna kill a general.
I was going to say it. I was going to say she's gonna miss, but I didn't do it. I should have said it.
It's okay
out
though.
loud.
He can't reach. He can't reach.
We'll do it next
She
time.
would be uber fucked if he could reach. I wanted to end this video with that kill too. I mean, I guess I still can. We're not so far into it. Can we do that?
Whoopsie-daisies.
Yeah, we can do that. Or do we kill the mage? We don't. And that... Hold up.
What's the matter, Kieran?
Look at the... I don't understand these units. Look at this promoted sage has 13 magic. So he's dealing less damage to me than this unpromoted mage with 15 magic. And
I've seen this happen before.
like between that and the defense res thing, what is... Okay, it's...
I've seen it happen before. I think it happened to me in the bridge chapter. There's some swordmaster reinforcement. There's like a swordmaster and 3 myrmidons, and all 3 myrmidons had higher stats than swordmaster. I think I've heard it has something to do with how the game auto levels pre-promotes, because at least I know in GBA, promoted units have lower growth rates than unpromoted units.
That would make sense.
Because otherwise, if you gave... Because the game has to level them to 10 or 20, or whatever levels it levels them to. It has to level them up, give them promo bonuses, and then auto-level them even further to the proper level. And I think there are just some instances where they lowballed the growth rates too much. And so you end up with promoted units that have lower stats than the unpromoted ones.
There we go.
It looks like the only reinforcements left besides the thief are just zone-based ones. There's... so there's ones whenever you cross a blue line, and the blue line is... Out of the top 3 treasure rooms, there's like the middle one, and it's 1 tile left from the door, straight down is the line. But otherwise it's just zone stuff. Oh, I was gonna also check if there was an enemy with a bolting behind any of the doors.
There should be at least a siege tome. Well, I mean, I thought it was just on Maniac mode, but you said you remember it, and you've never played Maniac, right?
Maybe I just remember from watching someone play Maniac and then laughing at them whenever it happened.
Was it me? I don't think it was me, because I think the only person watching me on this chapter was Mecha.
Yeah, I don't think I remember watching.
You watched me play Clash, I know that much.
Oh yeah, I watched you play Clash. I definitely wanted to watch you play Clash.
Yeah, I know you did.
So it looks like the rooms that have enemies inside them are all of them except for the top middle chest room. Otherwise, the rest of them all have at least 1 enemy behind. Let's see if WD will actually tell.
But do any of the enemies have siege tomes? Because I know that. That's why I was slowly chipping the door with Ike as opposed to someone who would open it.
Oh, let me keep scrolling through WD and see if it'll say which enemies are where.
is this gonna put... Okay, this doesn't put Riss in danger, so I can do that. And then this. Pew, 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 pew.
I'm scrolling through WD, and it says strategy for hard mode, and at the bottom of the paragraph, it says those who... to beat Enna, do the same as any general strategy, although to say that it's possible to gain... Sorry, it's translated so it's kind of broken up a little bit.
I find their strategies extremely funny. It is a very useful
Oh,
website for, like,
hilarious.
map data, but if you are trying to get a guide, like, do not go to WOD. Don't go to Pitfalls Wiki either, though, or even the .org Wiki.
So to sum it up, here's basically what it's saying is it is possible to gain more experience by damaging Enna a little, letting her recover due to her ability from where she's standing, she regains at least 10 HP per turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
so
she has renewal. She has renewal, and she has the throne healing. It's really obnoxious to, like, because it's tempting to be like, oh, she's a Shadow Dragon boss, just like shoot her with Gordon 20,000 times, but her weapon is infinite usage, and she will always heal up to full. It's like it hard counters attacking with things that are not like strong units and strong units at one range.
But I do love that this pretty much says that you can grind units to level 20 on Enna just by attacking her and then letting them heal.
Whoa, he's moving now.
Oh, hi. I take it you've never seen this guy move before? Nice crit.
I've seen him move when people are in his attack range, but nobody's in his attack range. Like, I've accidentally placed, like, Volk in range of him before, for example. When I'm just, like, running around gathering treasure.
These guys will be... Especially with the Holy Guard.
Easy pickings.
Easy picking.
And you said the top right ones are turn 19?
I've already forgotten. I think turn 19 is just a...
Oh, so... just a thief. So these ones are zone-based then, I guess?
Yes, the other ones are zone-based. There's some for whenever you cross into pretty much the left third of the map. And then there's some for whenever you cross that breach to start going down towards it. There's some that kind of cut off whenever you go down, like, below that bridge area. Ooh.
Oh, right, she's asleep.
Oh, yeah.
I think what we'll do is, so Rayson's, like, dancing on the water is weird, so I think this is the best space, because he can't, like, dance for these people. But how the ledges go, I'm not 100% certain that that's how it works, but I think it is. So we'll put you there. Have you go here and reinforce. We'll do this. Staff, restore, Jill. And then we'll shove him out of the way. Can Janov? Janov cannot reach there. Still. That's fine.
I don't think there's anyone with a siege tome, actually. Because I'm scrolling through the enemy data and I don't see any siege tomes listed on any of the enemies. I do remember there is a game where in, like, the English version, there is an enemy with a siege tome hiding behind a locked door, and it's the most frustrating thing ever. Oh, I know one of the guidons in Shadow Dragon DS, one of the guidons that nobody ever plays, there's a swarm tome hidden behind... There's a guy with a swarm tome waiting behind one of the doors, and there's no rescue in that game. So it's really frustrating whenever you open the door with your thief and he's just stuck, and he needs to be able to take a swarm tome.
There's no rescue staff either, right? Like, there's obviously
there's no
rescuing the mechanic.
You need to either warp them away or hope you still have a high move unit that can go deal with him. Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any.
I'll go for the aim assist.
Is that a chance you're willing to take?
Yeah, it'll be fun for the content.
Gotta give the people what they want.
I'm in a weird situation where I would like to trade a item onto her, but I can't. Also, Volk cannot reach the sleep staff guy. Did
And
not
you can't shove him
properly
either.
calculate that. Yeah, no, he's in like a weird situation where it's like the corner.
I always hate it when that happens.
Hmm. Well, I think I want a 1-2 range anyway. Well, no, that guy's a longbow, doesn't he? So
Yeah, he
it'll
has a
just be
longbow, I
for
think.
taking care of the. It'll just be for taking
The
care
mage.
of the mages, but I'll use Marcia because Pegasuses have high resistance. So maybe those pair up bonuses will save me.
Yeah, it'll give her a little bit of extra res against the mage. Yeah, it would be really nice to get a... Well, I guess if you're willing to let the last sleep burn, you can at least get the men staff from him.
Yeah, it sucks, but what are you gonna do? You know?
Replay the chapter.
No. This is a very long chapter. I'm already what 30 minutes in. I think we can not do
Yeah,
that.
this is definitely a very long chapter.
I'm just gonna
Don't
use
get
the aim
Wrath.
assist. Oh right, Wrath doesn't display. I forgot Wrath doesn't display on like battle forecast.
Yeah, it just triggers afterwards. It's like, oh, by the way, you get like 50 extra crit now.
But we did it. We killed the boss. This chapter's over, right?
Yeah, all we have to do is to stop canceling and the chapter ends. On a solo now.
All right. That was a really. Oh fuck, we forgot the energy drop. I guess we gotta try again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like, comment, subscribe,
We'll
all
be
the
right.
fun stuff. Bye.
We'll be right back with an energy drop.